इतना सा फर्क है कुछ होने में और बहुत कुछ होने में। इतना सा फर्क है एक बार सोच के छोड़ देने में और लग के कर दिखाने में। मान लेने में कि जिंदगी ऐसे ही कटेगी और सुबह 4 बजे उठ के सोचने में कि अभी तो बस शुरुआत है। किसी मैगजीन को हाथ में लेने में और उसी मैगजीन के कवर पेज पे होने में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वीआईपी सीट में और उसकी पिछली सीट में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी कि एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानपुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और 7वें आसमान में ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा है। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया।
Good afternoon, friends. A very warm welcome to our Business Opportunity Over Chai. And this special edition Business Opportunity Over Chai will help you to understand the greatest business opportunities that we Franchise India specially brings for you. Business Opportunity Over Chai presented by Management Team of Franchise India, Mr. Gaurav Malia, Chairman at Franchise India Group, and Ms. Neha Chaudhary, MD at Franchise India Brands Limited. Every day, 12 o'clock, we launch a new brand to explore new business opportunities. Today, we have invited a great brand, Laurel Perfumes, India's best French perfume brand. Laurel Perfume has stood strong in the fragrance industry for over 15 years. Laurel stepped foot into the Middle East with its own brand and manufacturing facility in 2014 and have since grown significantly with its own team in UAE and Bahrain as well as customers across the GCC. This has been supported by a significant investment into R&D, design, supply chain, and retail branding. To know more about this business opportunity, we have invited the team of Laurel Perfume, Mr. Nat Ramayaji. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Do you want me to start now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Let me just share the screen. Give me a moment. A very warm welcome to all of you in the audience and good afternoon. My name is Nat Ramaya and I represent Laurel Perfumes. This is an aspiring French perfume brand which is already working in 8 other countries across the world, and now we have come to India.
Sorry to disturb in between. Can we go on full screen, sir?
Sorry, what speed?
Full screen of this presentation.
Oh, full screen. Yes, just a moment. That's right. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Go ahead, sir.
So in our attempts to come into India, we have partnered with Franchise India and are looking to make connections with you all in terms of finding franchisees in every city in the country and master franchisers in the larger areas. So welcome to the world of Laurel. A brief story about us. We came into this industry many years ago, and the principal founding idea was we wanted to be in a space where there was nobody else. In other words, we wanted to be unique in as many ways as possible. And we looked on perfumes as a great investment category, primarily because in most parts of South Asia, there are two markets in perfumes. One is the unbranded, low quality, synthetic perfumes, which are very, very cheap. Many people do buy them, but there is no quality and there is no certification. On the other extreme is the branded European international perfumes, which are all made using flowers as the base. They are floral perfumes, high quality, well-known brands, but at the same time, extremely expensive. And therefore, we could see a big gap in between where there was no branded floral perfumes at affordable prices in a very competitive market like India. And that's one of the reasons why, pivoting from where we were in the Middle East, we are across 8 countries. We have brought a range of exquisite perfumes to the Indian market. What do these perfumes do? They definitely deliver value for money. So at Laurel, our tagline is, at Laurel, luxury is so affordable. We have a phenomenal team which combines many years of experience in distribution, in retail, in manufacturing and trading across many countries in Asia and the Middle East. At the heart of everything we do is the customer. He is the person who is our God. He pays our bills and he enjoys our product. And that is whom we are out to satisfy today. We are already in all the above mentioned companies which you see on the screen. And now we are making our push into India. Our mission is to ensure that the customer has got many choices and many dilemmas. We are trying to scale down his dilemma by providing quality European fragrances at very affordable price points. That is our mission. And our vision is to be one of the best known brands in the perfume world, known for quality versus availability and price. At this moment in India, we are completely certified and registered by the government and the Drug Control Authority in Delhi. And we have 4 brands in the market at the moment. We have Graziano, which is the trendy collection of European perfumes for today's youth. This is an affordable range. It meets the quirky and fun lifestyle needs. And it is priced very competitively at 1,499 rupees a bottle, 100 ml. We then have the next brand, which is called J by Janvier. This is an eau de parfum, and it has a range of long-lasting fragrances. It's very luxurious, very powerful, very elegant. It has 12 SKUs or fragrances in the market, and they are priced at retail price of 2,499. Then we have the premiums, which are the Aralia and the Aralia Iconic. These are Oriental and French fragrances covering men's, ladies, and unisex. And of course, they move at prices in the retail market at 5,999, which is nearly 6,000 rupees and 12,000 rupees. Our brands have got several USPs, and it's very important to understand this when you talk to your business associates with the intention of either starting the business or promoting the business. First and foremost, we don't use synthetics in our perfumes. It's only organic raw materials. So today the jargon is sustainable, eco-friendly, whatever. But in the years when we started, there was no such terminology. We decided to stay away from synthetics because the synthetic is a lab chemical. It's cheap, it's ineffective, it begins to react with the body chemistry, and it doesn't leave a nice smell after a few days. Quality is at the bottom of everything we do. Whatever we do, we need to have high quality. That is what keeps the connection between us and the buyer and the consumer in place. We researched many countries and in many continents. And finally, we settled on buying all our raw materials from France, essentially because the raw material control on quality was absolutely terrific in France. So France today is synonymous with perfume production, and it stands for high quality. Having raw materials of French origin alone is not enough. You need an expert who knows how to blend these into a nice perfume. We here again researched many countries to see what type of support we could get from perfumers. And finally, we started working with French perfumers, primarily because they have a tremendous amount of experience in that line, and they're very skilled. If you know, going back into history, France and the perfume industry are linked for more than 300 to 500 years. So France is drenched in perfume, and the moment you say high quality perfume, the first name which comes to mind is France. For the safety of our customers, we ensure that all our fragrances are fully lab tested, licensed, registered, and certified across multiple countries. We work with the governments and the ministries of health in all these countries. So right now, we are now in 8 countries. We are fully lab tested and certified in Dubai, in Delhi, in Colombo, and all across the Middle East. We also have a high credibility as a vendor because we are fully licensed and registered with the same ministries in those 3 countries. And all over the Middle East, a Dubai registration is very valuable. It gets accepted in all the countries we work in. We are now working in Kuwait, Oman, Dubai, Bahrain, Abu Dhabi, and we are now looking to enter Saudi Arabia. The perfume business is a vanity business. It is beyond what is called roti kapda or makan. It is the fashion business. It is luxury business. And when you have enough money beyond the basics of food, shelter, and clothing, then you want to improve your lifestyle. So this business is a very high impulse business. When you feel like buying a perfume, you want to buy it now. So we understood this variation in the perfume business, and we set up warehouses in every country we work in. In India, we have our warehouse in Chennai. What does it deliver? It delivers super fast delivery. In Chennai, we can give you same-day delivery across the country. We can put it on a courier the next morning. Because if the customer has to wait for the product, he will lose interest and walk away, or some other flashy advertisement somewhere will distract him. So we believe that what is offered to the customer must be available ex stock and to create the sale at that particular moment. So super fast delivery is a very valuable point in the affordable luxury business. The customer has got different choices in terms of brands and perfumes and smells. We really don't know what he would like. But to make sure that we try and cater to the widest range of customers, we have developed a range of 5 brands and 80 perfumes. It is a phenomenal range. And when you go into the market, you will find that we are one of the very, very few companies in India which has a range like this. Invariably, you will come across companies with 1 or 2 or 3 brands and perhaps 1, 2 or 3 fragrance choices. Very rarely you will come across anybody with 5 brands and 80 perfumes as a choice. And choice is what makes the customer come to you and buy from you. Our investment models are very interesting. They are structured carefully after much discussion with Franchise India. And we believe that it's a very valuable model that we have developed, both for our franchisees and our distributors. Essentially, the crux of our offering is low investment, low risk, high return. And that is the founding of any business. As long as those principles are followed, you will succeed. Last and not least, India is a market where there's a tremendous amount of customer base, but all are very conscious on price and all are shopping. So we need to make sure that our pricing for the value we are giving is very attractive. And we call ourselves affordable luxury. Any one of our perfume ranges, when compared with the European brands, you will find that we are far more competitive in price, and where you can buy one of theirs, you can buy two of ours. In other words, our customers can use our high quality perfumes and use it daily because the price is so affordable. There's a huge potential to scale up. The world is really our market, and vanity worldwide is more than a $600 billion business. India is in the very early stages of brand recognition at the mid-market and the mass market levels. There is many more miles to go and many more customers to capture. With your support and our business acumen and our range, I think we can do great business in India. This is what we have done in other lines, and we are now going to be delving into the perfume line again. Why do I say that? Because in my line of business, I always enter businesses which have no competition. Invariably, I'm the first in the country. It has a disadvantage. I can learn from no one. But if I succeed, and before the next lot of people come and copy us, we are many miles ahead. So just to give you a brief, I started India's first online jewelry store. We started India's first large format bookstore, which was a 5,000 square foot store, and we ended up doing 50,000 square foot stores. We started India's first made-to-measure menswear clothing store, and now we are looking at being the first in this particular space where we are giving affordable luxury. In other countries, we have come across and set up some of our own kiosks, and we have worked with partners like you who set up kiosks. We can help you in that direction, and we can give you guidance in case that is your wish. Otherwise, we can give you support and information on how to build the kiosk, how to run the kiosk, and how to run the business model. We're quite happy to connect with you. We also have an online presence, which will be helpful. We provide free shipping pan-India on all the orders. We give you support 24/7. You can call us, you can email us. We will help you with training on Zoom. And of course, we are in line with all the current payment methods in India, whether it's Visa, whether it's MasterCard or UPI. We keep up to date with the technology as it evolves. We have a very interesting core management team. I am the founder and CEO. I have more than 40 years experience as a serial entrepreneur. We work in several countries in several verticals. We are in the beer business, we are in the apparel business, we are in the jewelry business, we are in the real estate business, we are in the palm oil business. And now we are also in the fashion business with perfumes. We have a very young and enterprising co-founder and CFO. He's an investment banker. His name is Vikram Natraj. He's based in Singapore, and he adds value to all our operations, whether it is perfumes, it's real estate, or it's stock market operations. The other of our core members is based in Dubai. He's Mr. Sadiq Basha. He's the co-founder and the chief operating officer. He is responsible for all the day-to-day operations, including product development with France, procurement, vendor management, manufacturing. He holds 25 years of experience. He's a well-seasoned entrepreneur in India and the Middle East. And the fourth core member of the team is Samar Al-Mala. He's our head of business development. He is based in Kuwait, and he holds more than 30 years of experience in beauty and cosmetics. He was formerly the country manager for Estee Lauder in Kuwait with a group called Al-Shaya. Below this, we have a whole lot of other people interacting with us. It's designers, it's logistics people, perfumers, etc. The Indian fragrance and perfume market is very interesting. If you look at the statistics, it's constantly growing. And we are looking at today somewhere around $315 million. And we are looking at a growth in the next 2-3 years of going up to $330 million. As I said before, it is a luxury item. It is a vanity item, but yet the middle class is growing, the disposable income is growing, and People love to go into the perfume arena because it gives them suave and class. What are the growth drivers we believe will happen in the next 10 years? First and foremost, there is a better understanding of personal grooming at the individual level. Because just as much as you have a bath and wear fresh clothes and get to office and comb your hair, why are you doing all this? You're doing this because you want to project your personality. You want to project your confidence. And along with that, as part of personal grooming, fragrances and perfumes are worldwide and acknowledged accomplice in this journey. It makes you feel good, it makes you smell good, it makes you feel confident, and it makes you feel wanted in a crowd where you are exuding a nice fragrance around you. So worldwide, there is an increasing demand for luxury and exotic fragrances. Recently, of course, over the last 10, 15 years, Indians have been exposed to global trends because they have begun to travel. International travel and, of course, international fragrance brands have come to India. So the exposure at the Indian middle class is growing rapidly. And with the disposable income increasing, consumers are beginning to spend on premium and luxury fragrances and other luxury goods. So there is a growing brand consciousness and increasing expenditure of luxury goods among millennials. They are the future of the next 10, 15 years, and they are a very, very strong buying group. You will also notice by reading in the press from time to time that there are customers' preferences are changing in a very different way. It's not just money and price alone. They're looking for value in different directions. They're looking for organic products so that there is a more sustainable environment worldwide, which our product is. We are completely organic. They're looking for cruelty-free products. So we don't hurt animals and we don't hurt the, nature in any form in the way we produce our goods. And this is a consciousness which we are slowly explaining and trying to get the message across to our buying public. Among the younger generation, there is definitely a popularity for premium perfumes. Now, the question of affordability comes in. Do I want to buy one bottle of perfume at $100 and use it for 6 months, which is what will happen when you go for the European perfumes? Or do I want to buy a bottle of perfume at $30 and buy 3 bottles over 6 months and use the perfume daily? In our opinion, item of grooming like a perfume should be used daily because that is what sets your trend and your mood for the day. Although today it's considered luxury in Asia, in many parts of the West, consumers view perfumes as an essential lifestyle product. This thinking will come to India too. It's just a matter of time and exposure. Why go for premium fragrances? Because they are long-lasting. They use a lot of concentrate in their production, and they're unique and innovative. So our perfumes range from anywhere between 4 to 5 hours, going up to 15, 16 hours. Today, the logistics move has expanded all over the world, all over India, and there's automatically a wider reach of perfumes into the smaller markets in the country. And that is good for us because as the last mile delivery increases, our brands and our fragrances will reach more people. Women account for the largest share in the market, not just as buyers, not just as users, but also as buyers. They are the influencers. They buy for themselves and they buy for their families. And men's growing appreciation of personal care is also happening. There's a diversification in the fragrance industry, and e-commerce has brought in that push so that more and more business is being conducted across all the platforms. The lifestyle market, as you see in this sketch, is small. It is only around $124 billion, but it's growing. And if you see what is happening in terms of consumption in the other markets, you can understand that lifestyle being small as it is as a tremendous opportunity for growth. It's a question of how we position ourselves, how we service our customers, and how we pass the message across. India is a phenomenally large market. Young workforce, 50% of Indians are less than 25 years old, 65% are less than 35 years old, and they are the future for us as our customer base. And they are beginning to be exposed to world markets, world trends, and definitely they are coming into the higher end of the disposable income group. They all aspire to upgrade, and this could be a major area for our future growth. I would say that the perfume industry in India is still not organized as you would see in other countries in the West. But we are there, we are on the way, and we are transitioning and moving up from an unorganized to an organized sector. And then slowly, in due time, we will go into the specialized and personalized sector. India already is a very major player in the e-commerce market, and it's expected to become much, much bigger. And that is also going to drive perfume consumption and perfume sales. Once the brand gets known at the physical level, automatically you'll find a lot of people coming in and buying perfumes online. I'm giving you a current example. I am based in Sri Lanka. We went in there about 3 years ago, and we started concentrating a lot on the e-commerce market. And today, their largest e-commerce player in the gifting market is a company called Kapruka. And we, Laurel, have already become their largest supplier. And this is without people being able to even smell our perfumes. They are buying our perfumes. And then when they come back for repeat orders, that means they like the perfume and they're coming back for more. Our franchise proposal is very interesting. It's been worked out with a lot of thought. I will just run through the key area of the franchise model. We could do franchisee operations in as little as 100 square feet to 150 square feet. Locations could be malls, airports, city center, high street, or in any other shopping complex in a store-in-store concept. There's a little initial investment of about 3 to 4 lakhs in furniture fittings to make a nice display that the franchisee can do himself. There is no conditionality that they must work with us, but if they need any help or support, we as Laurel Perfumes and Franchise India as the core support group are quite happy to bring our expertise to the table and support you in any which way, whether you want design, whether you want manufacture, or you want more ideas. Your outflow starts with franchise fees, of which the starting fee for a franchise operation is 4 lakhs, which comes to us. And in that, we also ensure that we give you all the training online. If you are in cities far away from us, we will train your staff. We will give them all the information, all the technicalities of all about perfumes, the story, how they should spin it, how they should talk to their customers. And any support you want in the perfume line, we are only one click away. We recommend that you carry at least 12 pieces of each of our perfumes. We have, at the moment, in the Graziano range, we've got 19 perfumes. In the Janvier range, we've got 12 perfumes. We've got 31 perfumes. So if you take 12 pieces of each perfume, we give a free tester. And this approximate cost will come to about 6 lakhs. Why is it necessary to have the entire range? As the saying goes very popularly in Hindi, "Jo dikta hai, bikta hai." The more you show on the counters, the more sales you will get. And the holding cost is very small. So we recommend a inventory cost of 6 lakhs. And the product margins vary on your business model. You can discuss that with us. You will get between 40 to 50% of the RSP or the maximum retail price as your working margin. And as a result of that high working margin, your return on investment is upwards of 100%. So you could have a payback period in as little as 12 to 14 months, and our agreements run for 5 years. The beauty of this operation is when you start selling one piece or two piece or three pieces, you need to replace your stock. Most companies and most distributors will put large minimum order quantities on you. In our case, we are very supportive of our retailers and our franchisees, and we have a no MOQ policy. That means there is no minimum order quantity. If you sell one bottle, you can order one bottle. You sell two bottles, you can order two bottles. That way, you will always have all the 31 bottles in stock. You will not miss any business opportunity for a customer coming in, and you will never have a situation where you're out of stock. That is our promise. Our warehouses are stocked well. We are constantly monitoring our inventory, and we will constantly bring in new inventory as the sales begins to increase. So rest assured, you are in a unique sphere with a great partner who will give you on-time delivery, X-stock, sitting out of a warehouse in Chennai, and you will always be well stocked in your store. For those of you who want to have slightly bigger ambitions and want to do a distributor role, please feel free to call us for a discussion, because distributor roles can be done in many ways, and it's good to understand your motivation and your drive before we suggest the best possible alternative for you. But today, the franchise route is wide open. It's very unique because in your marketplace, when you go around, you will find that easily up to 70 to 80% of the people handling perfumes are not registered, not certified, not lab tested, don't have a license. So what they are selling is highly doubtful. Are they selling genuine? Are they selling lab tested safety products? We don't know. So for you to find out as a customer, to understand the strengths and weaknesses, go and ask anybody who's selling perfume. Can I see your license? Can I see your lab test certificate? Can I see your registration certificate? If he's not able to show those, then as they say in Hindi, dal mein zarur kuch kala hai. Something is wrong somewhere, because a genuine distributor or a retailer of genuine products will have all these licensing. We have all these documents for every one of our 81 products. Rest assured, that's there. Ideal partner profile, very interesting. Ideally, we would like to partner with people who have connections with the makeup industry, the lifestyle industry, because this is a lifestyle brand. It's a lifestyle product. Perfumes in general are a lifestyle product. They are not, as I repeat again, they are not roti, kapda or makan. It is purely from disposable income beyond those three important areas of life that people want to spend on lifestyle. When you have some money in your pocket, you want to buy a nice dress, you want to buy a nice shoe, you want to go to a nice mall, a good restaurant for dinner, you want to use nice cosmetics, and you want to use exquisite perfumes. At the same time, you want it to be affordable, which is what we are. People with direct sales background is a big advantage, because sometimes in the beginning, the customer will say no. And you shouldn't get put off, because you have a great product and a phenomenal strategy behind it and a terrific supply chain. So a sales background helps you to overcome those initial hiccups which you may come across. Even young people who are willing to start their entrepreneurship journey, we can support them all the way through with brand support from our side and Franchise India's experience in developing markets, developing businesses. We will combine together as a three-way partnership and help you start that entrepreneurship journey. There's nothing like doing your own thing. You could always work for somebody else, but irrespective of the amount of money you can make when you're doing an employment, you may make less money when you're your own entrepreneur, but the feeling that you're doing it for yourself and your family is actually phenomenal. Trust me, in my family, I am the only one who went into business. Everybody else was in the police, in the army, in the navy, in government service. They said, beta, ruk ke jana, government job le lena, lot of security, pension mil jayega. I said, no, I prefer to stay in the private sector, and I prefer to take my risks in business. Believe me, the journey has been very interesting. And if you are in that category where you want to start the entrepreneurship journey, do so. We will give you the fullest support. Of course, if you have good marketing skills and knowledge of luxury buying, it's so much the better, because then you know what is the advantages you have in dealing with us. Because unless you know the comparatives of what the other person is selling or not selling, you will never be able to understand our value. So if you have those skills, it's of great value to us, because then you know that you're working with a very strong partner. Selling is all about convincing customers. It's all about communication skills and all about how you maintain your interpersonal relationship. This is something which is not taught in the schools, not taught in colleges, but it comes in real life. It comes from experience. So we have to leave it to you to see how best you want to grow in this space. But if you need any information, any skill points, feel free to reach out to us and we will get you the necessary information and support. Distribution partners, of course, is a slightly different ballgame. They must have a very good network in modern retail and trade, because today business is all about contacts. First contacts, then product. And at the top of it all is price. So as long as that combination is worked in any which way, distribution partners will be of great benefit to us in our retail journey. Key roles we look at strategically, yes, we look at supply chain, we look at inventory planning, we're looking at price points, which is managed by the brand. It's constantly at the top of our mind, because we use a funnel system. All our central operations happen in Dubai. Each of the countries we supply to have their own import restrictions. So we don't bring in large quantities and stock it and get caught. Strategically, we bring in constantly, we bring in goods on a 1 month, 2 month, 3 month supply chain, so that we don't get caught by local regulations which might change from time to time. Key role for the franchisee is your store operation and how you interact with your customers. And of course, today, unlike 20 years ago, you have the internet, so you are free to reach out to your clients on Facebook, on Instagram, on Pinterest, on WhatsApp, on Google, and we will also support you in that, because just as much as you are advertising yourself, we will advertise you as our key players in different parts of India. Of course, when you choose your location, do choose it with high footfalls, because that is invariably an initial requirement for success. It could be in malls, it could be in airports, it could be in high street, but choose it carefully. And if you need some help in understanding the right location, we and Franchise India are here to help you. We will support you and give you the right advice. I already explained that we have a low investment model, a very, very attractive ROI. Why do I say attractive ROI? If you have money and you put it in the bank, what are you going to get today? 5% in a savings account, 7 to 8% in a fixed deposit, and maybe you put the money into somebody else's business with all the tension and the difficulties, you might make 15, 20%. In our business, with a little bit of control and a little bit of support, you could easily make between 60 to 100% per year on your investment, and it is also a very low risk model, because you only have 31 SKUs, you have only 12 pieces each. There is no way that you can't sell those. And if there's a problem, we will also help you on that. No problem at all. So these are the partner profiles that we are looking at. India is a very big country. We can't be everywhere all the time, but we're trying to see how we can build our business city by city, market by market. We have shortlisted about 17 cities across the country, and we will grow at it little by little, one state at a time. Let's recapture the reasons why you should partner with Laurel. First and foremost, we provide high quality European fragrances all the way from France. a very wide range of products at very affordable prices. We have a rich legacy of active business interest because we are in different business models across different countries. And we understand the nuances of each market, and we can bring you support in that area. And that's why we say our management bandwidth is excellent, plenty of years of experience and expertise, and all that is at your disposal if you choose to listen and choose to follow. Our products are now selling in 7, 8 countries across the world. We are also now going into Saudi Arabia, and we are going into Africa in the next 6 months. And therefore, we hope to be in about 11 countries in the next 1 year's time. It is being accepted, people like the product, and as long as people understand the value of the product versus the price, we will always be in business. All our perfumes are imported as far as the Indian context is concerned, and we are one of the few imported perfumes which are outside the Western or the larger brand names. And therefore, it allows us to have a wider range, a more active portfolio, great price points, and a tremendous blend of perfumes and smells across the region. Kiosk models are very fast-moving, very good. In fact, we ran our own kiosks in Bahrain, in the malls. Each kiosk is only about 150 square feet, and we had 4 kiosks. And Bahrain, believe me, is a very small Middle Eastern town of about 2.5 million people. It's got a lot of brands which are doing low-quality synthetic perfumes. In spite of that, we were selling something like 55 perfumes a day. If we can do that in Bahrain, we can do that in India. In India, if you sell even 3, 4, 5 bottles a day, you're automatically in a situation where you're touching a 70, 80, 100% return on investment. If you sell more, good luck to you and to us. We have a good brand reputation. Our customers like us, so they're coming back to us. And as a result of this reputation and this delight, we have actually also launched a celebrity perfume in the Middle East. This is at the upper end of the price triangle. It's a niche perfume, and we are just now getting a lot of traction with both international retailers, online and offline. Manufacturing is controlled by us closely, whether we manufacture in Dubai or whether we manufacture in France. Quality standards are very critical. They are maintained. We follow French certification standards, and we follow Dubai's very intense and very difficult to follow standards for approval. And we have achieved it across Dubai, across Delhi, across Sri Lanka, across all over the Middle East. So we have a low investment model with a very high profit margin option. And the best part is, you at one franchisee cost, you get 4 brands working with you, all under the Laurel umbrella. It goes to say, if you've been listening to what I've been saying all this time, that yes, we are a very system-driven organization, end-to-end partner support, and I'm very happy that we have good control and a good holding hands with Franchise India, who have got tremendous, shall I say, skill sets at their disposal, and together we can be a very formidable partner for you. So that's the brief story, the brief journey. And if you have any questions related to franchising or anything at all with marketing, feel free to talk to us or to coordinate with us on the chat box, and we'll be happy to answer. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you so much, Mr. Nat. It was a wonderful presentation, a lot of wonderful insights, which I'm sure a lot of consumers listening and consumers like us would not have understanding of. So friends, I'll quickly recap the opportunity. I see a lot of questions in the Q&A box. Please keep writing in these questions. I'll also be happy if you are looking at distribution, if you can share a little bit about your profile, would help us to understand. And equally, if you can mention the city of your interest, we would be able to say if that would equally interest us to be present in that location or not. So quickly, recapping the opportunity, and thank you, Mr. Nat, for presenting it. And friends, Mr. Nat is a very seasoned entrepreneur who has been in the business for many, many years. And not only this, he has been into running multiple business as a serial entrepreneur and carries a very vast experience in the industry, experience of the Indian market, experience in the global market, working with I would say markets across the globe. And this is a specialty retail business. And when I look at the experience of the management, it comes with a collective experience of more than 100 years in the industry and as business owners, which also brings a lot of value addition to, I would say, the product and the markets where they're looking at. It gives you a lot of business intelligence. So the brand is a French perfume brand. They're already present in about 8 countries across the globe. They are looking at India as a very big market. And they have also got into the space which has a gap. It is not another Me Too brand, I would say, which is trying to get into a space which is already crowded. So they're filling the demand gap is what I would say. They are a bridge brand, like Mr. Nat mentioned, it's a bridge brand, which is between a value product or a value brand and a very high expensive perfume brand. And a very big emphasis is on the quality of perfume, the ingredients that go in the raw material, which comes from France. They're all lab certified perfumes, and which are obviously international standard. And most important is also the strong supply chain structure, which they already have with their distribution center in Chennai, which will manage the entire supply chain across the country. And some important things which I would also like to comment on when it comes to, perfume as a business. And I saw some numbers which Mr. Nat talked about. Perfume business is a very high per square feet efficiency business. You don't need a huge space. So if you look at the format, we start as small as 50 square feet. So you don't need a huge space. We need a good display. We need to display all our SKUs and our product categories. But my revenue is comparatively higher. So even with the 50 square feet space and with an average ticket size, we'll talk about what I could make out should be anything between, 2,500 and I think about 5,500 is the higher side of the perfume. So your average ticket size comes out to be at least about 3,000, with a very small space. So overall, there are 5 brands across the segment, and there are about 80 perfumes, which means they have range across all price points. And I personally feel for a consumer to also make a decision of purchasing, the price and the quality both are very, very critical, criteria for him to look at. So there are 2 opportunities we are presenting, and one is a kiosk franchisee where the investment and in the area requirement is about 50 square feet, which is good enough. And typically, your locations which can be atriums, high footfall retail locations can be good enough to put a format like that, where the overall investment including inventory, will take more details from you, Mr. Nat, on that. But I think what I calculated comes out to be about 10 odd lakhs, including the fee, the inventory, and maybe the basic infrastructure that needs to be put in place. So we'll take more details. I see some questions on the investment. And the second is a distribution opportunity where you need space to house the product and keep the inventory. And you need to have at least a minimum inventory of about 4 odd lakhs to get started, and a distributor fee of 50,000 to become a distributor. But we would be happy to, in fact, look at profiles, especially when it comes to distribution, where somebody comes from the retail distribution experience for a quick go-to market. That's very, very important. Somebody who's new to the business is not somebody we would actually recommend or qualify them as a prospective partner as a distributor. Overall, the margins between the two would vary between 40 to 50% for a franchise model, and about 18%, 15 to 18% is what I saw for a distribution model. So quickly, Mr. Nat, we'll take some questions. And friends, even for a kiosk model, because the investment is not very high, we also advise multi-unit franchising works very, very well. So if you have good locations in your city, and there are 2, 3 good, retail locations and malls, maybe an investment of say 30, 35 lakhs can help you have locations at maybe upcoming malls, strategic locations where it can be placed. And also business like this works very well. Gifting business is very big when it comes to a category like this. So where you have some seasons, the festivals which come in, it can be a another source of your revenue. So I'll take some questions. I'm seeing Mr. Nat, and first and foremost, you did talk about competition. You mentioned, and I remember we spoke last time. You said everything that we look at, especially India, with the diversity and the the startup ecosystem that we have. Almost everything that one thinks of doing, there are 200 people already doing that business. So you did mention that, and you saw there was a gap in the category that you get in. But do you think there is still any competition? Maybe 1, 2, 3. I don't know if there are any. I saw some names in the chat box where people are talking about some businesses. I saw one of our friends, Mr. Samson Bharat, talking about a brand called Acura, Acura, if I'm pronouncing that right. So do you see any competition currently in the market? And if yes, how do we, kind of position ourselves with this competition?
Good question, Sonia. If you look at what we have to offer purely on a comparative basis, apples and apples, then I can't think of any major brand which has the French ambience, which has an import content, which has the registration and licensing content, and then also has that type of price points. We are not comparing ourselves with the synthetic perfumes in the market, which are possibly very cheap, possibly low quality, it's all lab and chemicals. We are really targeting to see how do we stand up against Christian Dior, Armani, Hugo Boss, etc., because they buy from some of the same companies we buy the raw materials from. They use the same perfumers. So what's different? The production process is the same. What can happen is because they have the name in the market over the last several years, they spend a lot of money in branding. They do work at very high margins that allows them to go for a slightly better bottle perhaps, or an ability to work at higher price points and not bend. So at the lower end of the target, the closest we could think of was Titan Skin, which used to make in France, but then they also dropped out of that and they now make everything in India. In India, what happens is just like Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola across the world is one formula, comes out of the US, but the taste of Coca-Cola in every city is different. Why? Because the water they use is different.
Yeah.
Same way with perfumes, the alcohol you use is different from country to country, city to city. And we've been testing a whole lot of different alcohols from different points. And we came across the fact that the French alcohol system gave the perfume a natural smell which did not detract. So that's how we went into it. So from a customer's point of view, he can say, "Ye brand to bahut saste mein bik raha hai." But he has to look at it a little more carefully to say, what are you comparing? Are you comparing apples and apples or apples and oranges? So in our line, I think there are very, very few people in the marketplace who have the full certification, such a wide range, a quality perspective, the way we have brought it to bear, and the fact that they are also multi-country, because that shows that they have been effective in other countries also. So even though India is a very, very important market, we need to be aware of what's happening around us. And if we are succeeding there, then automatically we will do well in India. We have to be patient, and this is a market which is growing. Sustainable disposable incomes are increasing very dramatically because women are in the workforce. Husband is working, wife is working. Together, many families are having an income of more than 1.5 lakhs a month. And easily to spend 1,500 rupees or 2,000 rupees on a perfume is not a problem.
Correct.
What is our objective? We want to make them use perfumes every day as a matter of grooming. It improves them, it improves their sense of confidence and their personality, which is what they're trying to promote. Whether they use good clothes, good cars, sophisticated eyewear and watches, perfumes is one of them. That's the call. So I think we're in a good position. It doesn't matter if there are 1 or 2 other players coming up. The market is so huge. The pie is absolutely phenomenal. And just to give you an example, when we started doing our bookstore business in the mid-80s, there was no bookstore in India more than 400 square feet. I saw a huge opportunity. I said, let's go for it. And we built a 5,000 square foot store first time. People said it won't work. Shilpa has been coming. She knows the brand. She's seen the store in Bangalore. And we grew to 50,000 square feet. Was there anybody else? No, they were all far behind us. And people spent money on books and it carried through. So same way, we see a huge gap here, which we believe will carry through.
I agree. Absolutely. Nat. And now coming to the unit economics, how does it work? And if you want to give maybe some examples of the same. So we talked about, and if you can maybe even help us to understand typically what kind of operating cost and at what level, what would be my rental typically, because we are talking about small spaces and they would come at comparatively higher per square feet rental structure. So with an inventory, you talked about 4 lakh rupees. So typically, that inventory at the MRP level, what would be the value of that inventory? So maybe a 4 lakh would be how much at the retail price?
Okay.
The typical expenses, say maybe the staff which is required, because you don't need a very big staff. So operating expenses are not much. You maybe just need a very 1 or 2 people with their rotation of their weekly leaves and the rental, which is a fixed cost. So if you want to maybe elaborate on that, and at what level would you break even and start making money?
Sure. Just give me a few minutes. I'll open another screen, which will have this in a greater detail. I'm sorry, I'm not able to get that particular file, but I'll give you a brief.
That's okay. We can have maybe a broader understanding of what it takes.
Yes.
Typical sales one can expect, what goes in terms of the expense outlay, which a partner needs to
Sure.
prepare himself for.
It's like this. I will take the lowest price SKU as a starter. We are selling those at 1499, which is 1,500 rupees a bottle, and we are offering a discount structure between 40 to 50%. Let's take 50 as a starter just to understand that. So there's a gross margin there of 750 rupees a bottle. We are looking at a operation of this nature, selling, even in the kiosk, we used to sell about 55 bottles a day. We are looking at maybe 3 to 4 bottles a day. So let's say 5 bottles, just for argument's sake. So that means there's a gross income of roughly 3,500 rupees into 30 days is about 1,12,000. Now, if you're in an airport or a mall, that will be your highest expense, which could be as much as, let's say, 100 square feet into 200 rupees a square foot is about 20,000 rupees. That is the biggest chunk. As you rightly said, number of people could be either one, or if you're in an airport where there's a 3-shift operation, it could be 2 people. So given all that, I will share those numbers with all the people who are interested. I've got a file on this. But I think we are easily looking at grossing or netting something like 8 to 10 lakhs in a year on an ongoing basis. The expense factors are very low. All the advertising is now also being done. A lot of it is being done online, because that is where everybody is heading towards social media. And I believe that on a very broad perspective, 100% return per year with maybe 1 staff or 2 staff and a minimum inventory of this 4 lakhs is very valid. And we don't have to have large warehousing spaces at all, because all the warehousing is done in Chennai. We sell 1 piece by 1 piece back to the supplier. So in case they sell 2 pieces today, they can reorder 2 pieces from us. So in most cases, whatever we give them can be held in their store itself. They don't require any more warehousing or any other cost structure there. It's only 6 pieces to 12 pieces per SKU. So to that extent, we bring the cost down, and we constantly support with online marketing, and they of course do their own. So I don't see a major problem in achieving a 60 to 100% return on investment on an annual basis without a problem. The supply chain is so strong.
Okay.
So if any of our readers or listeners wants a more detailed note, kindly ask them to write into you. I will send you a complete picture. They can go through it slowly. If they want more discussions, we can do that also. No problem at all.
Wonderful, Mr. Nat. I'll request Maria, if you want to pick up some questions and maybe club 1 or 2 questions together. I see some questions in terms of, distributor role. What exactly would that be? Typical, supply he would do. I think he's asking on supply to even franchises in the region. So if you want to take some questions, Maria, please take that. And friends, we'll also leave our hotline number or email ID for you to get in touch with us and come back to you with complete detailed working that we've done on the format. Over to you, Maria.
Thank you, ma'am. Sir, Rupesh is asking, does distributor supplies product to franchisees?
Yes.
Okay, can you just give us more input regards to this, sir?
Yes. What will happen is, if he's a distributor and he takes responsibility of working with, say, 3 or 4 franchisees in a particular city, for example, then he would compile their orders and pass them on to us. We can send the product range directly to the franchisees, so it avoids the distributor having to have intermediary warehousing facility, intermediary handling, breakage, pilferage, all that is avoided. So as long as the partnership is franchisee to distributor to Laurel Perfumes and Franchise India on the back, at the back end, we can supply directly to them in the first lot. Thereafter, as and when products sell at the franchisees, they need to send in an order sheet to the distributor. He needs to forward it to us. There will be a certain amount of money to be transacted between the distributor and us for the raw material cost, and we will again deploy it directly back into the retail stores. So the supply chain is very efficient. We call it drop shipping. It's efficient, it's quick, and very little chance of additional pilferage and breakage happening. So the distributor undoubtedly has to have a certain amount of stock. That's why we have shown that he carries a base stock of about 4 or 5 lakhs, which can be X amount of pieces per SKU in his warehouse. So when the franchisee comes to him, he can deliver immediately. He can then reorder from us and refill his stock. So it's completely constantly refilling his stock to a particular minimum level of maybe 4 or 6 or 8 pieces per SKU. As simple as that.
Thank you, sir. We also have one question from Riddhi. She wants to know what risk do we see, and do we have edge towards it?
Okay, very good question, Riddhi. Let me tell you what used to happen in Bahrain. Bahrain, even though it's a small city, we found very specific movement of fragrances. Specific fragrances moved more in the west Bahrain, more in the North Bahrain, because the types of people and communities who live there. So as a franchisee, you could have a situation where some of your product is not moving, or one or two SKUs are not moving in your town or in your area. Under those circumstances, in a normal situation, you will say, what do I do? I'm stuck with the goods. Working with us, you come back through your distributor. We will help to take back some of the slow moving items and replace it with a faster moving SKU for you. But that doesn't mean that your lack of attention and lack of effort reduces because we are giving you a guarantee. Sorry, 1 minute.
Sure, Mr. Nat. And one thing I'd like to answer, I think Mr. Sandeep, you're asking whose responsibility is to appoint franchisees. So franchisees' responsibility is not with the distributor. Distributor responsibility is to open as many retail points in the region which comes to him. Mr. Nat, one question which I'll take, if you give a distributor, now, is it awarded based on the city, state? How are we giving these rights? I think that should be helpful for, Mr. Sharma, franchisee comes as an added advantage. So obviously your main distribution points would be retail points, but any franchisee appointed in your region would be an added revenue stream. Over.
I think that's very true, because initially, naturally, one would start with at least one distributor per city, because our Indian cities are very large. And if you find that the city is large enough and the person and it has ability to absorb more, you could always do a second set of distributors, because our entire effort is not competitive, it's collaborative. We insist that anybody selling our perfumes will sell at the same price all India, irrespective of how he is moving it, whether it's online, offline, retailer, direct to consumer. So therefore, the consumer will come to you, provided he's happy with your service and he likes the way you deal in business, then he doesn't go to somebody else. But since we are brand new in the market, in as much as retail operations are concerned, we can start with the premise that anybody coming from any city, the first person is definitely, as long as he fulfills other conditions, is a great partner, and then we grow together. In the process, if we do get some more franchisees, they become additional revenue for the distributor if he is willing to look after their interests and service them and be the bridge between the franchisee and us. Any other questions?
No, Mr. Nat, I think we have done with the questions. Thank you so much. And Harshika, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Ramaya, and thank you, Maria, for this wonderful presentation discussion about the brand Laurel Perfume, because as we have spent more than an hour, so that means we have covering each and every part of the brand called Laurel Perfume. Friends, to know more about this business opportunity and to start this business opportunity in your location, you can reach us on our hotline number 9717683838. Also, you can write us on feedback@franchiseindia.in. Tomorrow again, Franchise India brings back a UK-based brand level up your success with Pop Social, starting with the investment of 8 CR. To know more about this business opportunity, call us on our hotline number 9717683838. Also, write us on feedback@franchiseindia.in. Thank you everyone for joining today's webinar. We'll connect again tomorrow. Good day.